Yes, good evening, viewers. Good evening, viewers. Welcome to COPDEM People's Parliament, where we dissect socio-political issues as they affect the Nigerian people. Tonight, we'll be looking at a number of burning headlines as we refer to it as trendy stories for the day. Of course, we have joining me on Zoom our special guest for tonight, Barrister Joseph Ameh. Barrister Joseph Ameh will be giving us a background to his book launch that is coming up very shortly, and he'll be giving us some angle to the content that made up this book, because the book have a very attractive topic, especially for the new Nigerian projects. So, welcome, Barrister Joseph Ameh, to COPDEM People's Parliament.
All right, thank you very much, my brother. Can you hear me very clear?
Yes, loud and clear, I can hear you.
Okay, that's wonderful. Nice to be here. My name is Joseph Ameh, and
Thank you.
I'm an author, a public affairs analyst, and a lawyer based in Abuja. I also happen to be the secretary of COPDEM in Nyanya branch, you know. So we are all one family.
Yes, indeed, we are one family.
Ardent obedient.
Before we go on with your, your introduction and your perspective towards the book launch that is coming up, let me take us on a ride on some of the items that we'll be looking at tonight, particularly trending stories that we have for tonight. And you know, Nigeria is such a dicey political atmosphere where a lot of things happen within 24 hours. And we will be taking a look at some of them already. Number one, okay, we'll be looking at a book launch. A book launch from a trader to trailblazer, from trader to trailblazer. The story of Peter Obi, and of course by Barrister Joseph Ameh, Esquire. And let's proceed straight to the trending stories for tonight. PO drags Deji Adeyanju to court on grounds of defamatory statements. And of course, we're looking at the opposition in Nigeria. That's number two on the trending stories. Opposition in Nigeria must embrace protests and civil disobedience, according to Kingsley Moghalu. Kingsley Moghalu is the Labour Party gubernatorial candidate for the upcoming Anambra State gubernatorial election coming up by November 2025. And of course, he's advocating that the opposition in Nigeria must embrace protests and civil disobedience in order to be able to draw the attention of the world and indeed the ruling party towards and of course the masses to understand that the time for the new wave of political action is now. And of course, number three on the trending stories, we are going to be looking at roads, Tabo traffic deaths, and Dangote lack of compassion. This is one of the issues that will take the center stage on tonight's discussion. And of course, number four, please, Joseph, can you mute? Can you mute your mic? Thank you. And number four, we're looking at Rivers LGA elections. Rascality taken too far. That's according to Mr. Peter Obi. He described the election as a rascality taken too far. And of course, number fifth on the item is Liverpool Saints Arsenal. Liverpool Saints.
Can you hear me?
Please, can you mute? I'm still handling the program. Mute.
Okay. All right.
I'll call on you when it's time. So, number five on the item is Liverpool stings Arsenal in a stunning free kick that collapsed the hope of the gunners trying to hold forts and maintain a draw at the Anfield over the weekend where they were trying to hold a fort. But indeed, Liverpool, pushing and pressing power overcome all their resistance. And there was a stunning free kick scored by Zoboslia, who scored a very beautiful long-range free kick that ended Liverpool with 3 points. It's so deep. And tonight, given the trending stories, I'll be giving a brief background to some of these stories for tonight's discussion. But before dwelling into that, let me give the mic to our guest for tonight, Barrister Joseph Ameh, who is giving us a background to the book title, From Trader to Trailblazer. Barrister Joseph Ameh, you're welcome.
Thank you very much, my brother. I must appreciate.
Join us on COPDEM People's Parliament.
Thank you very much. I must appreciate the host.
Can you tell us the vision, the dream behind this book that you have written? What has driven you? What was the passion responsible that made you decided to put this literature together in honor of Mr. Peter Obi?
Okay. I appreciate the opportunity to be here on this platform. And starting from year 2022 or thereabout, we have been in the race, we have been in the battle, we have been on the field to see that Nigeria gets its right and have an elected president that will be accountable to the people. So I was actually, listening to Mr. Peter Obi, as he wants to be called most of the time, back to back on most of his programs, most of his lectures, even outside Nigeria, and his outings, both within Nigeria, in schools, in universities, and in different gatherings. So I actually felt that this message that this man carried at that point resonated with me as a person and also with a lot of Nigerians. Because Nigeria was absolutely at a crossroad. We were beaten and battered at the point where Buhari was about leaving. This whole situation was hopeless. And most of the citizens had almost given up. In fact, there was no light anywhere. Everywhere was darkness. As far as I can remember, shortly before Muhammadu Buhari, left office then, So Peter Obi coming as a candidate brought that new energy, that hope, especially after the end-SARS oppression and the massacre of Nigerians at the Lekki toll gate, So for me as a person, I, saw the depth of character that Peter Obi came with. I saw that zeal for a better Nigeria in him. I saw that accountability, and I saw that, humility required of a leader. I saw a leader who will not just point the way, he will guide, the people to make sure that we arrive at the destination. I saw a leader that will be pragmatic and a leader that will be futuristic. So, having looked at all he did as governor, both from his speeches and all I read, I discovered that this is a man worth being remembered forever in Nigeria's history. And that's the passion, that's the, depth that I had the burden I had in my heart as a person, to, document and research more and put the book together.
Oh, that's awesome. Very
Can
good.
you hear me clearly?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear.
Thank you for so that's how I came about the idea of the book, From Trader to Trailblazer, the story of Peter Obi. For a man to come from, a place like Onitsha, where everybody is just busy hustling, looking for their daily bread, then go to the bank boardrooms, from the bank boardrooms to the political scene, then becoming a winner in an election, as far as I'm concerned, from what I wrote in the book, as far as I know what I wrote, is I was in the situation room, and I know when, the IRF was switched off, you understand? And I know how Nigerians were robbed of being liberated forever from the political cankerworms and political caterpillars that have been trampling upon us all this while. So I had no choice but to document this, to make sure that even when I'm gone, even when my children grow up, they have an idea that there was such a man that walked on this soil of Nigeria.
Indeed. Indeed. I see a very strong reason behind your idea of putting this piece together, and it's very commendable. As I just can't wait for what's the date for this book launch?
The date is the 30th of September at the National Merit House, 11 a.m. Daytime.
Maitama, right?
Yes, National Merit House, Maitama.
All right, that's awesome. So we're looking forward to that date. While we still look up to that date, can you give us a bit of a bite on any other segments that you wish to talk about in respect of the book? Of course, the title of the book remains From Trader to Trailblazer. If you want to speak further on any aspect of this book and you want the world to, why not have liberty to do so?
Okay, I'll just talk about the introductory aspect for now, which is part of what I've already said, that at the point where Nigerians, you understand, were looking at Buhari leaving office, we were in a very hopeless situation. And everything was, just is either we get it right or things will go wrong. And so for Peter Obi to come to the scene and impact people, impact Nigerians the way he did, he meant a lot at that point. He brought that hope. Even though we were robbed of that election, you can see that there was a change in atmosphere with his coming to the political scene. And till this very moment, we are still feeling it. Our people are now holding our politicians more accountable. Our people are no more glossing just over whatever they are giving. They are no more looking away. People are going into details. That's the nuances of things now. Before, politicians would just come, they'll say some things and get away with it. But now, because of the emergence of Peter Obi as a person on the political scene, people are now going into details of governance. People now want to know more. People now want to be part of what is happening. And there is a consciousness and awakening among the Nigerian youth, just because we have a man that is dedicated to details, a man that is data-driven at all times to make sure that, things are done right. And one way or the other, the impact is being felt. Because as you can see, even in governance today, the level of propaganda, is reducing, not as bad as before. Because each time they want to start saying some things, people go and do their own research and discover that what this government is talking about is a lie. So that is the aspect of the book I like to talk about. His ability to stick to details, to quote data, to talk and argue based on empirical, verifiable evidence is something that I want every Nigerian to hold on to as a lesson from the book. That's in the introductory aspect.
I agree with you because even just today, Mr. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu was forced to delete his own tweet where Nigerians highlighted propaganda. Previously, we used to get away with it, but now Nigerians are beginning to ask questions. So the advent of P2B in the political scene has raised the consciousness of the Nigerian people. They become more concerned, more interested in the governance of their country, and that is one aspect that is very key. Thank you, Barrister, for that wonderful presentation.
Thank you very much.
It's a pleasure having you. The program will continue shortly with the trendy stories that we have. We have Mr. P2B who has dragged Deji Adeyemi to the courts, demanding that he provide the evidence that he claimed to have in respect of calling him a fraud on his X account. What do you have to say on this matter?
Thank you very much for that question. As a lawyer, everything in the legal profession is regulated by evidence. And when a man comes forth to say a thing against another person and claim to have evidence, such statement or allegations will be definitely indicting, because as people listen, they will believe if there is no response from the person being accused, that whatever happened was so as the people listen, if there's no response from the person being accused, people may likely believe that the lies are actually true. Even though some of us already know what Peter Obi can do and what he cannot do, I will trust him because they have searched and said nothing can be found. We have to keep the record straight. I'm glad that Peter Obi has come out to, sue him, and he going to court will serve as deterrent to others. He's in his right to go to court. One, Deji can come to court and also present the evidence he claims to have. That's two. Then also, the court will look at the basis of the case and determine whether or not the right course of action exists between the two parties. But as far as the case is concerned, Peter Obi, as a person, as a citizen, before being a politician, is entitled to defend his integrity. He is entitled to set the record straight. And in the law of defamation, the fact that you are a public servant does not necessarily mean any smear campaign can just be brought against you at any given time. Because you also have a private life. He does businesses, he travels internationally, and these are things that has to do with his reputation and image. He has brought himself forward to let the people know that he doesn't give bribe by telling us that he doesn't give chichi. He has told people about his accountability, how he left a very big amount of money in the Anambra State Treasury. Then you now suddenly come from nowhere and said such a person offered you a particular amount of money without any concrete evidence, without even mentioning that he offered you this particular amount. So he's in the right to, go to court and set the record straight.
Indeed, he has a life, he has integrity to protect. As a matter of fact, myself, I have a case that's pending in court. Someone blamed me that I'm a fraud. I collect money from people claiming I want to make investment. At the end of the day, I took the matter to court. And he has been running since 2024 till date. He has been running, evading arrest. So people think they can just come up and defame people without repercussion. Of course, I cannot labor hard to keep reputation straight and allow that reputation to go down the drain without going through the legal battle to sustain it. So I personally commend Mr. Peter B for what he has done by taking the matter to court. At least it is serve as deterrent. So we now move to our second story. That particular over the weeks knocked down roots, the tower, all the way at Auchi. The lady lost her legs to the accident, and just yesterday by 6 a.m., there was a confirmation that she's no more. She gave up. And people have been accusing Dangote refinery, Dangote of the slow pace of reaction, of response rather, that he did not respond as at when due. He did not give the required rapid response to save life of the young baby. And there are permutations on whether there will be legal proceeding against Aliko Dangote. What do you have to say in this regard, Barrister?
Okay, thank you very much. With regards to the story of Ruth, that's Fina's sister, it's so unfortunate that, a life has been lost. Dangote, as a company, is to be held liable, not in person, but as a company. For the life that has been lost, the family is entitled to be fully compensated. So it now depends on the ability for the family to negotiate, to know how the compensation will come. But it has been established that a Dangote truck, crushed the lady and an Okada man. The Okada man, nobody has talked about him, but all the parties involved, all the parties that have been, affected by this particular reckless driving of the Dangote truck, they are all entitled to be compensated. But in most cases, many of these big establishments or corporations, they try as much as possible to avoid compensating their victims properly or even compensating their victims at all, because there are so many other people that their lack of diligence or prudence in employing drivers has, destroyed their lives. So they may feel on their part that, if we compensate this particular person, the other people will now come with their own case and we'll have to compensate hundreds or thousands of people, So that is one of the things that a lot of corporations in this scenario like to avoid, But in this particular case, definitely they have no choice. If their lawyer can fully follow up the case, you get justice to make sure that the family is well compensated. The woman left at least 2 children behind. The company has to, put them into consideration, their education up to the university level, and their welfare for now, and even their caregiver, whoever is going to be their caregiver, they have to compensate everyone involved to make sure that the family, can have a closure to the particular case.
Okay, thank you for that. Of course, Nigerians are calling that there should be proper training and retraining for Dangote drivers because they've been found in the attitude of knocking down Nigerians across the expressway.
Sorry, I didn't hear that.
Nigerians are advocating that there should be training and retraining of Dangote truck drivers. And of course, the implementation of speed limits, because they will find one thing, one way or the other, involving accidents on the expressway. What is your take?
Unfortunately, I think there are some people making noise at the background, so I cannot actually hear clearly. But with regards to that, Nigerians, for now, to me, is not about the mob. It's not about the mob action. It's more about, following the due process, and the right process is for the family to approach Dangote as a group. Okay? So once the family approach them as a group, their lawyer will present their case and all the available data with regards to the children that the lady has left behind, and compensation to cover the cost of all the family has gone through. Their compensation has to be adequate enough. So whatever Nigerians are saying and all that, Dangote can decide to turn his face, but one way or the other, it will still have a ripple effect on his organization in the end.
Okay, thank you for that. And of course, we'll be looking at the Rivers State election where was conducted over the weekend, and there was a viral video to that effect where a man was seen translating multiple ballot papers, and it was recorded. That was the clear evidence. And this particular incident has been described as radicality taken too far by Mr. Peter Obi. Several other Nigerians are condemning what was described as election. I, for one, I also blame the people for the huge voter apathy. They chose to stay away from the poll, and that gave room for the massive irregularities and the voting manipulation that took place over the weekend in Rivers State. And Nigerians are finding it difficult to accept any other person on the ballot, thinking that everybody, equating everyone to the standard of Mr. Peter Obi, and if it is not Mr. Peter Obi, it's needless going to the poll. This is one of the factors that was responsible for the voter apathy. And of course, given what happened in the 2022 general elections, Nigerians have lost hope of whatever is left of INEC as integrity. We find it difficult to trust them to conduct free, fair, and credible elections. Also, given to the backdrop that the sitting governor was illegally removed from office, that conduct of LG election under a illegal sole administration in the first instance was an aberration. As a lawyer, what's your response?
Thank you very much. By the Constitution, I'll start from the idea of the state governor being removed, that's Sim Fubara. By the Constitution, the president does not have the power to suspend an elected governor. He doesn't even have a power to suspend a local government chairman. But the way the way the law is being operated in Nigeria is not really, you know, how it should be. So it's like whoever is president at any point in time pockets the judiciary, because the funds being used by the judiciary is approved by the president. In most cases, instead of the revenue mobilization fund, the president has to give a go-ahead before anything is done. It has gotten to the point now where the executive, they are now buying cars for the judges. They are now building houses for the judges. They are now taking judges on vacation and all manner of things happening in the judiciary. That's not how it is meant to be naturally. So the fact that no court has ruled against the impunity and the illegality of having a sole administrator presiding over Rivers State is so absurd and, you know, taking us backward. You understand? That's one aspect of it. Then the aspect of the election that was conducted. You know, every election that involves the local government in Nigeria is as good as, you know, empowering whoever is in office, that's the governor that is on seat. In this case, the sole administrator is ruling, you know, but he's not the one ruling, technically. He's still Wike, the current FCT minister that is ruling the state through the sole administrator. If you recall, before Sim Fubara was suspended, all the members of the State House of Assembly that were loyal to Wike, they all became to APC. Okay? So they have decided that APC will be used as a tool in the state to unsettle the governor at every point in time. And because within the state, the governor is more or less in charge of the PDP structure. So as a result of that, they decided to now deviate to use the APC as their tool. And that's why you see that about 20 local government APC has won, leaving PDP with 3 local government. So all the results, from what you can see, how they were competing, like some results, they are talking of 300 and something thousand, when the crowd was not even up to 10,000. There was apathy. People did not come out to vote. So when you see some of the figures being bandied around, 58,000, 300 and something thousand, 100 and something thousand, then you discover that it is clearly a kangaroo arrangement. As you saw from the man or the people that were busy completing as many ballot boxes as they could. So it is clear that you know, the structure of criminality is still existing in that River State, and that is why we believe that Peter Obi, on getting to office, will have a lot of work to do within the first few months of coming to the office. Because I know that the challenge is going to be a strong challenge for him. So that's my take on that.
Thank you, Barrister Joseph Ameh. Viewers out there will be speaking to Barrister Joseph Ameh, who has authored a book titled From Trader to Trailblazer. Of course, the book launch will be coming up on which date again?
30th of September.
The book launch will be coming up on 30th of September at Merit House in the town. Yeah. So this is an opportunity of passing the information to everyone to try and be part of the book launch. So we can make it a very, very huge day. Given the topic, of course, it is one of the strong pillars of the New Nigeria project. You can give us a closing remark in respect of the book launch and speak to viewers out there to prepare and be part of the event coming up at Americas on the 30th of September. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. As I said before, we are on, a precipice. That's on the edge of everything in Nigeria. What we wanted in 2023 did not come to pass. But now we are approaching 2027. The book launch is not just about coming to wish for a better Nigeria, but we are coming to take a stand and take action that no matter what it will cost us as Nigerians, we must get it right in 2027. Even though we were rigged out, even though Peter Obi is not there in office now, the spirit that he brought into the movement and the spirit of the Nigerian youth that he awoke, that he brought alive in 2023, that spirit is still strong. That fire that is ignited is still spreading far and wide. And to keep that fire alive, we have to all gather in that book event and make it a success. Because the book is a book that I want, as the author, to reach every nook and cranny of this country, to carry that message that Peter Obi has that solution, to carry that message that we need that accountability and probity in our system, to carry that message that Nigeria can still be great again, that a new Nigeria is still possible, and that Peter Obi is that vehicle that will bring that new Nigeria. Because as far as we can see now, we do not have any other option that is visible before us now. So we have to push and make sure that this event, is a success. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Barrister Joseph Ameh. We're looking up to that day. As we come down to this day, time to time, if you don't mind, we'll still be inviting you to be part of COPDEM People's Parliament. So I continue to speak to Nigeria, thank you inform us about the upcoming book launch. You copy that. As time progresses, we'll be inviting your presence time to still give us a reminder about the upcoming book launch.
Yes, I'll make all the details available, and every activity that needs to be done will be done. And I hope that I'll also be able to talk about this again. If given another opportunity, I'll plan and organize a better environment outside my office where I am now, because of the noisy neighbors here. So I'll make a different arrangement next time.
No, this one is okay. It's okay for us. We have no issue with it. We're able to hear you loud and clear, and the whole background is fine. So
yes, so
to you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. There are some of our guests here Zoom who have one or two questions they would like to ask you. Please, if you want to ask Barrister Joseph Ameh any question regarding from trailer to Trailblazer, please feel free to unmute and ask him your question.
good evening, everybody. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Yes. My name is Tochukwu for PhD Hans.
You're welcome, my brother.
Yes. I want to first appreciate the organizer of this program. I didn't join this what do you call it? This webinar early on time. So I don't really know his name. I don't know his name. Barrister Ameh, please I don't know the organizer of the program, his name. COPDEM. Sorry?
My name is Mr. Aka Christian Ochi, otherwise known as G Process, and I'm the in charge of the COPDEM People's Parliament. where we have our social political discussion every weekdays from Mondays to Thursday.
Okay. Sorry, you said Mr. Christian, right?
Yes, Mr. Alpha Christian, otherwise known as D Process.
Okay, lovely. I'm happy to be here, Mr. Christian, and I have to commend this program. It's a lovely one. So
welcome.
I want to start with the system. I want to first start with this program. I want to give a positive criticism. I want to criticize positively first. I believe that this program should be of something that should enrich the youths, enrich all Nigerians, irrespective of party. I mean, irrespective of being partisan. Are you with me, please, gentlemen and ladies?
Yes, please go on.
And I am particular about that because being partisan is like saying you are being religious, or you are bringing religion and tribe into something. We should prioritize. What we should prioritize is we should prioritize and preach unity more of, which I'm getting to a point, please. We should prioritize unity and more of getting to the roots of Nigerian cause than putting it out there for or playing party politics or all not. Because I want us to be, I'm not saying we are doing that, but I want us to be particular about that. So we do not give a misconception, or we do not throw out misconception out there and confuse the public. You understand what I'm saying, gentlemen? Because people should get, this is a book. This is, we are privileged to be on this platform whereby both parties, the book launch and this program organized by Mr. Christian, are independent. They are independent. And you don't need to make something that is independent, you don't need to make it seem like there is an initiative or there is an intention behind it. No. Because you are going to ruin the motive of what you want to preach out there. So it is better we prioritize and preach and show that what we are trying to bring out there, or what we want the people or citizens of Nigeria and even outside, that these are the causes, these are the issues out there, and get a solution. All right. Then now we can what they call adopt. We can adopt PO, which we are doing already because he's the best man for the job. So before we preach PO is a young man, is a normal human being like all of us. So before you preach PO, you first preach out what you want to bring out there. You first tell the person what you are trying, the concept or what the motive of what you want to do, so that people can understand. There's a lot of misconception, and that was what happened last time. When I mean last time, I mean last election. That was what happened. There's a lot of misconception, and innocent people went down because of that. So you don't need to have that kind of problem again, So let's first preach the gospel of the right thing first, which we are doing, and let people understand. It is very important, because I've gone through, I've seen barristers Ameh. I've seen barrister Ameh's. At least I have an idea of his book, and his book is an independent book that will guide many leaders now and in the future. That is the rise of new leaders coming up after PO, or likes of PO, and even better than PO. So it's not something that we should be keen in preaching discipline, preaching the right thing first. Once we are doing that, once we are bringing it forward, let me just say bringing it forward, because that is all what we are doing here. So let's bring it more forward so people can get us well and be confident in being part of us, that we are independent and we are not standing for this thing, because I believe this program is a coalition. There's nothing like there's no Labour, there's no PDP, nothing. It's just a coalition. It's a coalition of independency, of democracy. That is, you are trying to say that people can stand, and you're talking about human rights, basically. People coming out. So that is what. And then when you're now coming to the part of the book, you are talking of an exemplary life of what PO has been doing. That's what you're doing. That's what you're talking. That's what you're preaching. That's what you're telling us. That's what you are telling everybody. That this is an exemplary life of someone's story. All right? This is an exemplary life of someone's story to motivate everybody, and prepare everybody. Even if we have an idea that, okay, or we have an intention that this is what we want to do, we don't need to push it so much there. Why? Because people need to see facts first. People need to understand what we are trying to do without any intention. That is my most concern here. Because I've listened to what Barrister Ameh has said. He spoke very well. And our leader, Mr. Christian, but let's not mix it up too much. Let's first prioritize preaching to people about our motive, so that when you are encouraging them, even if you have an intention, what I mean by intention is, let me be more particular. Even if you have an intention of doing an election in the next election, by God's grace, you will see that people will easily keen into it. They won't even buy the idea. They don't need to buy the idea. They will say, I've heard this before and I know what these people are talking about. I know what this association, this group they are talking about. Let's work with them. In fact, you will now see that you have selfless people creating subgroups, subcommittees under your platform. Ladies and gentlemen, please, are you with me, sirs and ma? Because
Yes,
we need...
I've heard you. I've heard you. Thank you for that observation. And for the record,
Yeah.
this platform is strictly COPDEM People's Parliament, where we
Okay.
dissect political issues, trendy stories of everyday life of Nigerian people. These are what we discuss on this parliament. And we provide forum for Nigerians who join us, whether via phone call or via Zoom, to have their contribution on how they perceive what is happening and how they expected it to have been done. This is
Okay.
this is how we operate it, and it is not dedicated to any political figure. We discuss based on trendy stories as they come up. The idea of inviting the book launcher to this platform is to give him the platform to tell Nigerians about his book. It's just a coincidence that the book title and the idea behind the book resonates with some of the trendy stories that we have for tonight. So it doesn't look like maybe we are trying to prepare a particular candidate for something. No. Strictly, this is called the People's Parliament. We discuss basic issues, issue-based items that affect the Nigerian people and nothing more. I hope I'm able to respond to your question.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Christian. I love that. Thank you for enlightening me more. I'm with you. I'm with the whole association. I'm with my barrister,
I
Mr.
understand.
Christian. Thank you
I
so much,
understand.
sir. I'm grateful. Yeah.
Thank you. It's a pleasure, and we appreciate you joining us. And we look forward to you being part of our
Let me
subsequent
try to put
edition.
on my camera. Permit me, please.
Yeah, go on. You are free. We want people to unmute, to put on their
Of
cameras,
course, we should be
uh,
visible and more
so that
transparent.
people are able to see ourselves, understand
Yes.
ourselves, get to know ourselves, and have more discussion going forward. I hope you are in one or some of
All
our
right, let me.
platforms so that we can have our discussions together. It's a pleasure to have you. Thank you for joining.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. A pleasure here too.
So
I'm
I
yet
hope you are part of some of our programs so that subsequently you could join us in our subsequent edition. It's a daily program from Mondays to Thursday by 7 p.m. The link remains the same, but the topics will keep changing according to daily happenings. But the link,
okay.
you can use the link to join us anytime by 7 p.m. without necessarily
Okay.
following up with the topic of the day. So that's the way it
Okay.
works.
I'm here to be. This is the first time I'm joining your program. It's beautiful, it's homely, it's comfortable, and I would love to join subsequently, please. Thank you so much.
Okay, no problem.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining. Before you go, I will drop
Yes, sir.
you my contact so that you can chat me up. I will share you
Okay.
the link so that you continue to be part of it anytime you are free.
Okay.
And we
Okay.
are glad to
Okay.
have you.
Okay. Thank you so much. My
So,
pleasure,
ladies
sir.
and gentlemen, thank you for joining the show, COPDEM People's Parliament. Until we come your way tomorrow by Tuesday for yet another edition of COPDEM People's Parliament. For me, it is good night and have a very lovely evening.
Thank you. God bless. Good night, sir.
It's all right. Let me drop my contacts on the chat box so that you can have access to it and be able to reach out to me anytime you want.
Okay.
So, have you seen it?
Yes, I've seen it, sir. I've seen it. I've gotten mine.
Yeah, so pick it up and drop me a chat so
Okay.
that I can end the program.
Okay. All right. I've gotten it.
It's all right. So